The United States is deep in a government shutdown. Federal offices are closed, thousands of workers are going without pay, and basic services are being disrupted. What began as a budget disagreement has turned into a national standoff. But even in this deadlock, there are signs of what might finally bring an end to it. Here are 5 things that could reopen the government, from political deals to pressure on everyday life. The first and perhaps most sensitive issue is healthcare, specifically the debate over funding for the Affordable Care Act, better known as Obamacare. Democrats are holding firm on keeping subsidies for low-income Americans that help cover health insurance costs. Republicans argue that these subsidies are expensive and need to be reworked. This dispute has become a symbolic line in the sand for both parties. If they can agree to a short-term compromise, even just to delay the fight over health care, it could unlock a broader budget deal and restart government services. A small concession here could have a big impact. The second factor is the growing economic toll. Every day the shutdown continues, the costs mount. Small business owners waiting for federal permits cannot operate. Farmers, depending on government support programs, are stuck in limbo. Contractors are not getting paid, and consumers are cutting back as uncertainty rises. Economists estimate billions of dollars have already been lost from stalled activity. Wall Street and the business community are watching closely, worried that a prolonged shutdown could slow the wider economy. Historically, when the financial pressure gets too high, it often forces Washington tact. Money, and the loss of it, tends to break political gridlock faster than speeches ever can. The third key pressure point is America's transportation system, particularly air travel. Even as the shutdown continues, airports remain open thanks to essential staff like TSA officers and air traffic controllers who are still working without pay, but morale is sinking. Fatigue, stress, and financial hardship are taking a toll. Any disruption in air safety or major delay could instantly turn the shutdown into a national emergency. That is the kind of visible impact that gets immediate political attention. If the system starts to falter, leaders on both sides will have no choice but to find a way out quickly. The fourth factor is public outrage. Americans are growing increasingly frustrated as the shutdown drags on. Families of federal workers are struggling to make ends meet. Travelers are facing delays. Small towns that rely on government jobs are watching their local economies freeze. Polls show that most people blame Washington as a whole, not just one party, for the gridlock. Lawmakers are hearing that frustration directly from voters, and for those facing tough re-election campaigns, the message is clear: end the shutdown or risk your seat. Public anger is one of the strongest forces in American politics, and it is building fast. And finally, the fifth and most decisive factor is bipartisan compromise. At some point, the political cost of standing still outweighs the benefit of fighting. Lawmakers from both parties are quietly discussing temporary measures to fund parts of the government while negotiations continue. It is not dramatic, but it is how most shutdowns eventually end, through quiet talks and gradual agreements. True leadership now means stepping beyond party lines to restore stability. Ending the shutdown will require courage, cooperation, and a willingness to lose politically in order to win for the country. A deal on healthcare funding, the rising economic cost, strain on air travel, public outrage, and bipartisan compromise. These 5 forces are the levers that can finally reopen the government. Each day of inaction deepens the damage, both economically and politically. But if history is any guide, when the pressure grows too strong and the people demand results, Washington eventually finds its way back to work.